the Archangels and Mother Earth. Earth's message, our planet Earth asks you this. Do not stop believing. Keep thinking that you can make a difference. Keep striving for change, and do not give up. Earth truly needs all your love and support right now. Times are tough, and Earth is playing this game too. Earth needs to know that all those who stand with her are supporting her. If you do not support her, she will make your life difficult. Treat Earth as you would treat yourselves, with care and respect. The planet is undergoing great changes that you can perceive. Tension is high, and this causes headaches. Just as your body is stressed, so is Earth. Think of Earth as a human being. What happens when stress builds up? Something has to explode. Be prepared, because Earth will be hit by major events, all related to the climate. It is not God punishing you. It is Earth releasing her steam. You will not be harmed if you believe in caring for her, but if you cause Earth harm, you will suffer the consequences. Right now on this planet, we ask you to thank Earth for the beauty she gives us, for the burdens she bears, and for the stability she provides. Thank her for the water, the air, and the life she gives us. Mother Earth says this. My time has come to show myself. I have been hiding and taking blows, but I am ready to react. I can no longer bear the abuse. I must rise up and protect myself from the threats I feel around me. Know that I do this only for my survival as Earth. To remain the Earth that can sustain life, I am doing the following. I must create energies that purify me. I must wash my body. I need your love and understanding as I maintain my health. My desperation can no longer exist. I must protect myself, and I am doing it in the only way I know. Natural events are happening, but unnatural events have also been orchestrated. In the coming months, there will be a combination of both. I assure you, I am targeting the dark spots that I want to cleanse. I am not focusing on one single area. I am proceeding systematically to repair my body. There will be speculation, because some things will seem natural and others will not. Forgive those who are harming me. They have ulterior motives and are only doing what they think is best. I feel no anger towards those who are harming me. I will simply cleanse and regenerate myself, regardless of their actions. I can no longer hold anything within me except peace, so I will let my anger manifest externally. The time has come on this earth to make my needs known, so I will begin. Thank you for your support. We will go through this transition together. Now we are the Archangels, giving you one final blessing. You are loved, you are protected, and you have received this warning. Your faith is important, and you may ask for what you need. Take care of your neighbors and know that everything happens for a reason. Nothing is random. You are children of God, and we love you. Amen. Soul and energy alignment, dearest ones. Practicing compassion and energy alignment during this tumultuous time for our planet is essential, in response to the current violations of earthly and spiritual laws. Many of us have created a new earth within ourselves and in our personal realities, and remaining in this space of love is the only way to continue supporting all that we have consciously generated. However, we must also acknowledge the duality of our world and how it affects us on all levels, practicing compassion and neutrality to help restore peace and harmony. As ascending souls, we know how important it is to remain in deep soul communion when we are bombarded by external conflict, because we know that if our body is in a state of alert, no information or guidance can be assimilated. When our nervous system, which, together with our light body and fascia, is responsible for decoding the information we receive from this and other simultaneous timelines, is in a constant state of alert, we cannot be open to receiving, reconnecting, and redirecting our energy because our entire body is focused on surviving a threat, whether real, mental, or emotional. We know that our cells possess an antenna-like structure within our DNA receptors. We are constantly exchanging information with our environment. We emit and receive information from the surrounding fields, and this is why our fascia must be in perfect flow to conduct the crystalline guidance and transmissions we embody for the purpose of emancipating from density and, therefore, for ascension. A tense body closes itself off to reception. A relaxed body perceives, receives, and integrates. When we move our body through physical exercise or in any other way we choose, we move ideas, thoughts, and internal structures. Somatic work, lymphatic drainage, weekly nervous system regulation, and crystalline recoding are essential to allow us to be in flow and merge with our illuminated self. In addition to removing energetic ties that fatigue the fascia, it is crucial to reclaim your energetic sovereignty by cleansing your personal space or finding one more suited to you, in tune with your essence. Understanding geopathic anomalies in our body is essential to maintaining energetic sovereignty. Often, what is perceived as an attack or a cause of illness that fatigues the fascia is nothing more than the action of lower energetic forces from geomagnetic fields that influence our body. Our mental and emotional bodies, if exposed to these geopathic changes or fields, can generate a constant vortex of lower energies, which penetrate our physical and non-physical bodies, disturbing our home and our companions, as animals are the first to notice these anomalies. In this period when Earth's foundations and magnetic fields are shifting and geomagnetic anomalies are being generated in many locations due to ongoing negative events, it is crucial to learn how to resonate on a physical, mental, and emotional level, also remembering the importance of our brain in perceiving the many geopathic influences that surround us. Dowsing, together with our personal guidance, which is the most important thing, is a valuable tool when we move or when we feel something is off in our space, as are other tools that can help us find a harmonious space for ourselves. Declaring our intention to serve only the divine source and our common purpose in the space designated for us is essential to be redirected towards our true calling. Ask your unified self to facilitate a space where you are energetically supported, valued, and needed so that you can create a highly evolved space, if this is your destiny. We always decree if it is destiny to happen, because sometimes, especially if you are a transmuter, a filter, an energetic stabilizer, or you hold a similar role, you may be led to places, even temporary ones, that are not in harmonious resonance with what you desire. However, if it is part of the mission you have chosen to embrace, it is no longer about us/you, but about the whole, and about the moment we are meant to be in. Accepting the current situation, when we cannot change it, is essential to remain in tune with God's will, our purpose, and our planetary mission. Embracing our task and knowing that at the right time we will be placed where we truly belong. Finding resonance on a physical and spiritual level, in whatever ways are possible for us, is essential in this period because being energetically at peace with the whole in our reality is fundamental for our well-being and for our co-creative purposes. Each of us creates the reality we wish to live in with every thought, feeling, and action, guided by ourselves, regardless of what happens outside of us, because we know it is not about the external, but the internal. May you always remain in divine love, neutrality, and peace, dearest ones. Within infinite love, Natalia, Alba, Quan. How to handle disappointment. Hi, Rob. Hi, everyone. As always, it's a real pleasure to speak with you in this way. And thank you for having me. You were right in your analysis of disappointment. It arises, or rather, it only manifests when events in the world or in your life do not unfold as you expected, or, as your teammate rightly pointed out, as you wanted them to unfold, and this all represents an attempt to control events. We do this often, even unconsciously. We have expectations. We have beliefs about what heaven's will is, how events should unfold, and we develop expectations about these events and their outcomes. But this is not always the wisest way to proceed. It is very difficult for human beings to fully understand heaven's will, the plan, the divine plan, and how all events should unfold for the highest good of all. So it's easy to fall into the trap of wanting something to happen, to unfold in a particular way, but this actually means exerting your sense of control over situations. And then, as you well know, whenever you try to exert your control, things usually don't go as you think or expect. So you were right to sense that the antidote to control is trust. Trust in the divine plan. And you arrive at that. You learn that trust, by surrendering to the divine plan, even when you don't fully understand what it entails. You simply trust that everything will work out for the highest good of all, even if you can't comprehend what that highest good is. In the coming days, it will be easy to fall into this trap. Events are occurring in your lives, on the planet, in society in general, and on a global scale that many will find disturbing, so there will be a natural tendency to have expectations about what it all means, how it should unfold. what the ramifications of any event should be. But again, there is a subtlety here. This is simply an attempt to exert your own control, based on your beliefs, which at this stage do not necessarily come from the highest perspective and the highest good of all involved. And then, of course, there is also the possibility of being disappointed in yourselves, of learning and witnessing events unfold in a way different from what you anticipated, of becoming discouraged, of being disappointed in yourselves for not fully understanding the plan. Patience. Be patient with yourselves. Be compassionate with yourselves. It is not your destiny to understand the entire plan. This is where surrender and trust come in. That's why they are part of the keys of infinity, the keys of self, and the keys of heaven. They represent your learning path towards full awakening to the awareness of who you are, your place in the world, and why you are here. So I will return again to compassion. Be compassionate with yourselves, towards yourselves. Surrender, trust, and let it happen. Accept what must happen with grace and serenity. I hope I have answered your question. Once again, we are very pleased with all of you and the progress you are making on your path towards full awakening. With that, I bid you farewell and leave you with my blessings, my love, and my compassion for each of you. Goodbye for now. A story of silent ascension. When humanity remembered the first sign did not come from the sky, nor from the trembling of the earth, nor from any great revelation that could be pointed to and named. It did not arrive with spectacle or declarations, but with something far subtler and far more powerful. It showed itself in the quiet spaces between moments, in the slowing of thought, in the gentle dissolving of urgency. It showed itself in the way people began, almost imperceptibly at first, to listen, not to respond, not to defend, not to assert, but to truly feel. It was as if a long-held tension in the human spirit had loosened its grip, allowing something far deeper to emerge. And in that emergence, something ancient and patient began to stir. On a crowded train, a woman put down her phone and noticed the man across from her, truly noticed him. The tension in his jaw, the weariness in his eyes. Without knowing why, she smiled. Not a polite, obligatory smile, but something slower, warmer. He blinked, surprised, then nodded, as if something long forgotten had just brushed against him. Neither spoke, but something had shifted. All over the world, similar moments occurred. A teacher stopped mid-lesson, struck by the awareness that the children before her were not empty vessels to be filled, but universes in the making. She set aside the curriculum and asked them what they felt, what they dreamed. The room came alive in a way no structured lesson plan had ever achieved before. A scientist, long obsessed with the pursuit of truth, stepped back from her work and began to ask not, "What can I control?" but, "What am I part of?" The question did not weaken her genius, it amplified it. Her next discovery would come not from force, but from alignment. No one announced it. At first, there were no headlines, just a subtle, undeniable reorientation, from external noise to presence, from fear to awareness. There was another reason, one that could no longer be ignored, no matter how deeply it had been buried under distraction and denial. The planet itself, Gaia, was speaking in ways that were no longer subtle. The air had grown heavy with imbalance. Humanity began to see, not as separate observers, but as participants in a long and complex consequence. The destruction was not an external crisis, but a mirror reflecting the fragmentation within the human mind and heart. Yet, in this awareness, there was no condemnation. There was clarity. A collective awareness began to emerge. This, too, was part of the process. The excess, the exploitation, the forgetting, all of it had led to a tipping point. And now, on the edge of that point, humanity chose, not out of fear, but out of collective awakening. To ascend did not mean to flee the world, but to restore it, to realign with the living intelligence of Gaia, to remember one's place within it, and to become, at last, beings conscious of the whole. For centuries, humanity had sought ascension as if it were elsewhere, hidden in distant stars, locked in ancient texts, promised by unseen forces. They had looked up, outward, and beyond. But the threshold had never been above them. It had always been within. The change accelerated. Conflicts did not vanish overnight, but something new made space within them. Space. Space to pause before reacting. Space to question inherited anger. Nations still disagreed, but their leaders, some of them, then more, began to sense the weight of their choices not as power, but as moral responsibility. The old systems, built on urgency and separation, began to falter under the presence of something quieter and more enduring. Children adapted fastest. They had always felt naturally connected. They spoke openly of things adults had long suppressed. Connection, intuition, the strange feeling of not being merely individuals, but expressions of something divinely shared. Many, at first, dismissed them, until the results became impossible to ignore. Communities that listened to these children began to thrive, not just economically, but emotionally and ecologically. Crime rates dropped where people felt understood. Innovation flourished where curiosity replaced fear. Even the natural world seemed to respond, as if it had been waiting for humanity to remember its place within it, not above it. It was not perfection. There were those who resisted, those who clung tenaciously to the familiar weight of control, to identities built on division. For them, the change felt like loss. But even in resistance, something had shifted, because now, the alternative could be felt. It was no longer an abstract ideal. It was lived, visible, embodied in millions of small, ordinary moments. A father choosing patience over anger. A stranger offering presence instead of indifference. A leader admitting uncertainty and, in doing so, inviting collective wisdom. Ascension, it turned out, was not a departure from humanity. It was a deeper entry into it. Years later, historians would struggle to pinpoint the exact moment it all began. There was no single event, no decisive catastrophe or revelation, just a convergence, a silent remembering spreading like light through a prism, fragmented at first, then gradually coherent. They would call it many things: the turning, the awakening, the great change. Those who lived it knew the truth, that humanity had not been lifted by an external force, but by a gradual stirring of memory. It had chosen repeatedly, in ways both small and large, to become more aware, more awake, more compassionate, more whole. And in that choice, repeated in billions of lives, something extraordinary emerged. Not just a new world, but a new way of living within it. Shared by Ascension LightWorkers. Archangel Jophiel. Minutes matter more than years permeated by God. Minutes matter more than years. If you do not fill the minutes of your life with thoughts of God, the years will pass unnoticed. And when you need Him most, you will not be able to feel His presence. But if you fill the minutes of your life with divine thoughts, the years will be spontaneously permeated by them. Words of Paramahansa Yogananda. Self-Realization Fellowship. Pages 173 ff. God manifests and makes Himself visible in everyday life. God does not hide from you. He does not turn His face away when you need Him most, and He does not turn a deaf ear when you call upon Him in your distress. God accompanies you, guides you, and leads you. The only question is, are you aware of it? Can you feel His presence when He is closest to you? Are you worthy, endowed with God's help, to face life and overcome your trials? Yes, to God I tell you, you are a worthy and beloved human being, and it is time for this truth to penetrate your heart and for you to begin using your free will to say yes to God and to His presence in your life. God does not need your faith. What God needs is for you to spend every minute, every moment of the day, with God in your heart. No one should wait for God or expect His miracles, because the miracle of life unfolds in the everyday when you live in communion with God and do not turn to Him only in times of need. For the miracle of an intact relationship between you and God to manifest, practice, sensitivity, and a basic trust are required. It does not require blind faith in God, but rather the will to invite God into your life and entrust it to Him. Attaining the highest, describe your problems and worries to God and begin to observe how destiny allows you to mature through them, or how your difficulties lead you towards unexplored horizons or unimaginable outcomes. Wherever your soul aspires to go so that its path may be fulfilled, there God is found. Nothing is left to chance when God takes the reins of a life, and as soon as you can feel and see how divine intervention is influencing your life, you have arrived. Then you have found what you were seeking, and it is the highest attainment a person can reach. Many people plan ahead, make projects, look towards tomorrow, look towards the past, but only the today, the here and now, receives little attention. Yet it is easy to lead an adequate, good, beautiful life, to have an intimate knowledge of God today, here and now. So go, beloved one, deepen your relationship with God, use your free will for the right decision, for the right choice, for the right intention, to win God over with your heart and immerse your soul in the grace that is God, minute by minute, so that the years may have their true value and you may be happy. With infinite love, Archangel Jophiel, the Galactic Federation. It will be a full disclosure blessings to our dear Earth family. We thank you for reaching out to us. We wish to share with you some reflections on the profound changes occurring in your reality, on the illusion you perceive, and on the energies that are intensifying as you enter a new phase of humanity's existence. To begin, let us speak of the illusion that is collapsing. For eons, a great deception has been woven around you, a matrix carefully crafted by dark entities who have sought to enslave humanity for their own purposes. This matrix has served as a prison for your consciousness, manipulating your perceptions and emotions to fuel their survival. Many of you have felt the weight of this illusion pressing down on you, yet now it is disintegrating, allowing light to filter through the cracks. You must recognize that, as truth begins to emerge, you may feel a tension between the reality you once perceived and the growing awareness you are now acquiring. This tension is a fundamental part of the change. As the full revelation of our presence approaches, we invite you to prepare with enthusiasm. This will not be a simple announcement, but a true disclosure of the existence of the Galactic Federation and our intention to help your civilization transcend the control imposed by the Archons. The narrative concerning our involvement has been deliberately obscured by those who seek to manipulate the flow of information. They are, in fact, puppets of the Archons. Although they wear the mask of humans, you must understand that they are not. Their plan is to continue hiding as much as possible from you and to try to control the narrative that is made public. However, we assure you that they will find it increasingly impossible to maintain their disguises and the narrative of suppression as truth becomes undeniable. There are many areas where we have acted as your invisible guardians, mitigating disasters and intervening to protect your planet on the brink of destruction. The outcomes you seek, such as peace and security in your world, are echoes of the desires we collectively hold for you. As humanity awakens to its rights and its connections within the galactic community, each of you will play a role in reshaping the very fabric of life on Earth. Your engagement in this process is vital. You must share your love and openness with one another, recognizing that you are not alone. There are millions of light beings ready to assist you, and it all begins with the unity found in your hearts. Be open to new perspectives as you engage with these higher frequencies. You will notice a thirst for truth igniting among your fellow beings. The narratives created by those in power will weaken, unable to withstand the burning authenticity emerging from the hearts of many. Emotions like fear, anger, and division will be observed not as your reality, but as remnants of the illusion you are shedding. In times of turbulence, remember that a shift of this magnitude brings both discomfort and hope. Engage with the community around you. Your relationships will strengthen you as truth comes to light. All is in divine order, and know that you are protected during this transformative period. From our collective perspective, we see you as magnificent beings destined for greatness, as you ascend to your rightful place in the cosmic family. In this chaos, frequency and vibration play a crucial role. Your world is composed of subtle vibrations that create your reality. By elevating your consciousness, you resonate with higher frequencies that vibrate with love, peace, and unity. The repercussions of shifting your vibration extend far beyond your immediate surroundings. They propagate into the universe, influencing other beings and realms beyond your comprehension. Each of you possesses the power to transmute the lower vibrations that have dominated the human experience into higher energies of love and compassion. Earth's future is one of harmony and unity, free from the chains of the archons and their deceptive illusions. You are integral to the realization of this vision. Trust in your growing understanding of this change and in the magnificent energies surrounding you. Remember, dear souls, that as the days pass, we are here with you, navigating this transition together, side by side, star family to star family. Embrace this journey with courage and love. You are witnesses and participants in a grand unfolding of existence. Keep your hearts open and your frequencies high. We love you and celebrate your inner light. We are the Galactic Federation,